Hello, dear students. Welcome back to a new lecture. In this lecture, we're going to take a grammar workshop entitled Verbs. And this is the 18th lecture. Do you remember all this game that's entitled Simon Says? All that you have to do is that follow what Mr. Simon says. So you need to listen carefully and perform what Simon asks you to do. Always follow the command after the phrase Simon says, or you will get eliminated. So let's play this game for a few seconds. Okay, so get up and let's start. Simon says, dance. Simon says, walk. Simon says, talk. Simon says, play. Simon says, stop. Excellent. So you were following the command of Mr. Simon. What were you doing exactly? You were doing some actions which Mr. Simon told you to do. These are called action verbs. You were playing, walking, jumping, drinking, and doing all these actions. All right. Let's now look at these sentences. I want you to circle the action verb in each sentence. I have the first sentence for you solved. So, Adam plays football. The action that Adam is doing is playing. So, plays is the action verb. Let's look at the second sentence. Kathy drinks water. Kathy is the person who's doing the action, which is drinking water. So drinks is the action verb. And then the children jumped 10 times. Jumped is the action verb. My brother likes cats. Likes is the action verb. I feel dizzy. Feel is the action verb here. But mainly, liking something or feeling isn't a physical action. It's mainly a mental state. When you feel, when you like, when you think, this happens mentally. You do not have to be acting it physically. All right, let's move now to the definitions. What is an action verb? An action verb expresses, as we said, a physical action or a mental action, like jumping, playing, drinking. These are physical actions. Feeling something, liking something, these are mental actions. An action verb must agree with its subject. And now the question is, to whom is this action happening? The word that answers the questions what or whom is called a direct object. For example, we said, Adam plays football. What is Adam playing? So to what action, to what object is this action taking place? It's taking place to or on the football. So football would be a direct object. For example, we have here someone peeling a potato. Okay, so peel is the action using what? The peeler. The peeler is the direct object. Let's look at the second image. We have someone who is slicing the onions. So we make a line from here till here. Slicing the onions using what? Using a knife. So the knife is a direct object. And then we have here boiling water. Okay, so boil is the action using the pot. The pot would be the direct object. Then we have roll out. Here, rolling out the dough using what? The dough roller. Then we have, what do we have here? Breaking the egg using our hands. And then we have here whisk, using a whisk. And then here we have mixing using the mixer. So all these tools here that we are using to do these actions are called direct objects. All right, let's now clear the drawings and move to the second slide. Here we have an exercise, so assess yourself. Let's look at the first exercise. It's telling you to underline the action verb in each sentence and put brackets around the direct object. I have the first one solved for you. The students, what did they do? Displayed their talents in the variety show. Displayed is the action which the students are doing, and talents is the direct object. The school principal introduced, this is the action, introduced what or who introduced each act. So the act or each act is the direct object. Then we have Wilson played the drums. Played is the action verb and the drums is the direct object. Now I want you to take your own time and solve these questions on your own. Now, I want you to think of these sentences. Looking at the first sentence, Grace handed her mother the notebook, and I want you to find the object. Which one is the object? The one that's colored in red or the one that's colored in dark blue? So Grace handed is the action verb. Handed what or who? Her mother or the notebook? Take some seconds and think of it. Let's look at the second sentence. Jackie tossed me the basketball. So which one of these is the object really? Ben played the class a recording. Again, which one of these is the object? We studied before something that's called a direct object. Now, I want to introduce to you something that's called an indirect object. What is an indirect object? Is an object that appears before the direct object. So we have here two objects mainly, direct and an indirect object. How do I locate them? The indirect object comes before the direct object and tells to whom or for whom the action is done. So her mother is the indirect object. The notebook is the direct object. So Grace handed what? The notebook. So this is the, let me write it for you. This is the direct object. All right. Let me change the color. Okay. And to whom did Grace hand the object, the direct object, which is the notebook? To her mother. So her mother is an indirect object. And I will make it colored in red. All right. So now you can identify the direct and the indirect object. The indirect object, as you can see, comes before the direct object. Jackie tossed me the basketball. So Jackie tossed the what? The basketball. So this is the direct object. And what comes before it? To whom did Jackie toss the basketball? To me. So me is the indirect object. Ben played the class a recording. Ben played what? A recording. A recording is a direct object. To whom? To the class. So the class is the indirect object. All right, let's clear the typings and move to the second slide. Oh, now we have to practice what we learned. You need to draw one line under the action verb, two lines under the indirect object, and put brackets around the direct object. I have an example here already for you. So Ben, this is the subject, the person who's doing the action. What is Ben doing? Played. Ben played. This is the action that Ben did. The class a recording. What did Ben play? Played a recording. Recording, that's here between brackets, is a direct object. To whom did Ben play the recording? To the class. So the class is the indirect object. Similarly, Grace handed her mother the notebook and Jackie tossed me the basketball. We answered these before. Let's continue. The teacher taught. This is the action verb, taught. The group, the song. The song, what did the teacher teach? The song. So this is the direct object. To whom? To the group. The group is the indirect object. So I put here, 1 second, let me annotate. So I put here brackets to the direct object and I underline twice the indirect object. Okay, let's look at the second one. Mr. Yamada bought, this is the action verb, his daughter a winter coat. Winter coat is the direct object because it answers the question what. What did Mr. Yamada buy? Mr. Yamada bought a winter coat. To whom? To his daughter. This is the indirect object. So by now, you should be able to solve the rest of the sentences. I will leave them for you and let's move to the second slide. I have 3 sentences here in front of you. Let's read them together and find the difference. The first one says, Jackie climbs the tree every day. Jackie climbed the tree yesterday. Jackie will climb the tree tomorrow. Already you can see that these sentences are almost similar, but some words are written differently and these words are changing the meaning. I have the words that are colored in red and the words that are colored in blue. These are the different words. So what can you deduce from these words, the difference? Climbs every day, climbed yesterday, and will climb tomorrow. We know that we have the same action, but it's being done at different times. Jackie climbs the tree every day. Like now, Jackie climbs the tree. Okay, so this is an action that's happening in the present. Jackie climbed the tree yesterday. This is an action that took place before now, so in the past. And Jackie will climb the tree tomorrow, so after now, in the future. So this is the difference, the time of these actions, and we call this the tense. Let's find more on this slide. We have 3 tenses, which I want you to focus on for this lecture. They are called the present, past, and future tenses. What's the present tense? Just like in this example, Jackie climbs the tree. Jackie climbs the tree now in the present. So it tells of a verb, or the present tense of a verb tells what a subject is doing now. However, the past tense, like Jackie climbed the tree before yesterday, this tense tells me what has already happened before now. Jackie climbed the tree yesterday and he finished that action, and today is a new day and this action is no longer happening. So it happened before in the past. This tense is usually formed by adding D or ED to the base form of the verb. The base form of the verb climbed is climbed, to climb, okay? I added ED because I'm using it in the past tense. Now, the future tense. The future tense tells what is going to happen later, after now. So something that didn't happen yet. It's usually formed by adding the helping verb will, okay, the helping verb, as I'm annotating here, will to the base form of the verb. What is the base form of the verb? The original verb without any additions. Okay, so to the verb climb, I need to add will. I will climb the tree tomorrow. Okay, so again, we have three tenses, same action. Present tense happening now, past tense happened before, and I add D or ED. Now I add D for words that end with a consonant letter, mainly not an E. I add ED for words that do not end with E, and for words that already end with an E, I just add a D. Okay, so every verb in the past tense, every regular verb in the past tense should end with an ED. Okay, then the future tense, I add will before the base form of the verb, and it represents an action that will happen in the future after now. Okay, now let's clear the drawings and move on. We have here two exercises. Let's solve them together. We need to write the past tense of each verb in part A. So climb, I add ed to it, it becomes climbed. Pretend, say it, so I can hear it, it becomes pretended. So pretended, I added ed. Then examine, examined. So examine. Now, before writing the correct answer, I want you to look with me at this word. Examine already ends with an E. So do I need to add an E again? For sure not. So I just add a D, examined. Pick, picked. Charge, charged. Excellent. So now we're good to go. This is how I change the tense from the base form to the past tense by adding D or ED. If the word like examine ends with an E already, I don't add an E again, I just add a D. Okay, now we have these verbs which we need to change them to the future tense. So remember we said I just add will. Excuse, will excuse. Travel, will travel. Watch, will watch. Disagree, will disagree. And paint, will paint. All right. So I hope by now you can differentiate between the action when it's taking place, present, past, or future. Now it's time to move to the second slide. Okay. Oh, we need to remove the annotations. So here, I want you to look at these sentences in each box, and I want you to choose the correct answer. So the question is, do I say Sam talk or talks? Do I say the twins walk or walks? Do I say they laugh or laughs? And do I say Sarah read or reads? So I want you to take a moment for yourself and think of them and choose the correct answer. All right, so let me discuss the first one with you. Sam is one person, singular subject. So I need to choose talks. Why talks? Because singular subjects should take the actions or the verbs mainly that end with an S. In the present tense, the verb should end with an S when the subject is singular. Let's look at the second one. The twins, as you can see, we have two twins. Two twins, this is a plural subject. Plural subject. Because we have two people. Plural, so what do I choose? Walk or walks? For sure, walk. Because with plural subjects, I choose the verbs that do not end with an S. Okay, then we have they. They is a pronoun that refers to plural subject. Also, we have two guys here or two boys. So they, say the answer, they laugh. I can't say they laughs, they laugh. And Sarah, as you can see here, one person, singular, subject. So what does it take? Reads or read? And the answer is excellent. It's reads. So what is the rule here? When I'm using the present tense, I have to decide whether my verb needs to take an S or no S. Based on what? Based on the subject. If the subject is a singular subject, one person, the verb takes an S in the present tense. If my subject, the person who's doing the action, is not singular, it's plural, so group of people, two or more than two, then I have to remove the S from my verb. Okay, let's find out the rule. The rule says that verbs must agree with their subjects in number. Okay, so if the subject is one person, singular, I need to add an S, as you can see here. The owl sleeps all day. All, one, all, singular, so sleeps took an S. However, when the subject is plural, it should take a plural verb, which means a verb that does not have an S at the end. So, as in this example, the owls sleep all day. Owls, three or more or two or more, group of owls. So in the plural, sleep, I remove the S. Okay, now we move to the practice. We need to rewrite each sentence using the correct present tense form of the verb in parentheses, okay? Now, let's look at the first one, which I already solved for you. A hiker, one hiker, so I have a singular subject here. So one hiker, singular subject. So I choose walk or walks. A hiker walks because we said a singular subject should take the verb that ends with an S. So a hiker walks. Rock climbers, climbers, plural subject. More than one climber. So choose or chooses, the climbers choose. So the verb that does not end with an S. Smooth rocks, again, rocks, plural subject. Require, the rocks require. I choose the verb that does not end with an S. A rock climber, one climber, needs. Steel spikes, help, because spikes is in the plural form. Okay, and now it's time to move to something new. We have something that's called the main verb and something that's called the helping verb. Now, from their saying, from their name, main verb shows the main action or the main state of being, which we presented at the beginning of this lecture. The main verb, I play, I drink, I jump. The northern states suffer a drought. So suffer is the main action that's taking place here. However, when I say the northern states have suffered a drought, I added have to the verb suffered, which you can recognize that it's in the past tense because it ends with an ed. So have suffered, I added have. What's this for? This is called a helping verb. Why do I use a helping verb? From its name, because it helps the main verb, which is the verb suffer, to show the tense, which is it present, past, or future? Because I'm using the past tense, I added the helping verb have. So helping verbs are like verb to be, which can be is or are, verb to do, like do, did, does, verbs of have, like have, has, and had, also will, can, may, should, and must. All these, which you should know, are called helping verbs. I add them before the main verb, which is here suffer. Why do I use it? Because it helps show the tense, which means the time in which this action is taking place. Now, both together, the helping verb and the main verb, when they are present in the sentence together, they make what's called a verb phrase. So have suffered together are called a verb phrase. It consists of a main verb and one or more helping verbs. Okay, let's practice and find out if you got it or not. Here you need to write the verb phrases in the sentences. We have the first example solved already. The northern states have suffered a drought. Have suffered, this is the verb phrase, which is consisting of the linking verb have, the helping verb have, and the main verb, which is suffered. The weather has been hot and dry for weeks. Has been. So has been is the verb phrase. The farmers have dropped for, have hoped for rain. So the farmers have hoped for rain. Have hoped is the verb phrase. A good rain should save the dry crops. Should save is the verb phrase. Should is the helping verb, and save is the main action verb that's taking place here. The harvest season is approaching. Is here is the helping verb and approaching is the main verb. By now, you should be able to continue the next sentences on your own. Okay, let's now move to something else. All right, now we're moving to something else. I want you to look at each of these sentences and find the verb. Let's look at the first sentence together. This sandwich tastes delicious. Okay, the second one, my mom is busy. The third one, the weather feels warm. Ducks and squirrels are our neighbors here, and Kathy is cute. Now, where is the verb in these sentences? Kathy is cute. Where is the verb mainly? Cute is the verb? No, that's an adjective. Warm is the verb? No. Delicious? No, that's an adjective. This sandwich, this is the subject. Then I have tastes. Is tastes a verb? In fact, it is a verb. Is the verb? It is the verb. Feels is the verb. Are is the verb, and is the verb. However, this is a different type of verbs, which is called a linking verb. In this case, we do not have the main action verb. Neither do we have a helping verb coming before the main verb, forming the phrasal verb. What we have here is only these words, or these linking verbs, tastes, is, feels, are, and is. Now, linking verbs get their name because they link. Link between what? Between the subject and either the noun or an adjective. So they link between them. They link between the subject and the predicate. The predicate can be a noun and it can be an adjective. So I call it a predicate noun or a predicate adjective. So these are the linking verbs which are linking between the subject and the predicate. Let's find out more. A linking verb links the subject of a sentence with an adjective or a noun, which is a predicate. It's taking the place of a predicate. So I call it a predicate adjective or a predicate noun. They are forms of be, which we call it verb to be, which is either is or are. So the linking verb is the form of verb to be, is, and are. Also, they can be the verbs seem, appear, look, sound, taste, and feel. These are called the linking verbs. When we find them on their own with no other main verb, they would be called linking verbs. Now you can ask me, if I have is playing, and we said before in that case, playing would be the main verb and is would be the helping verb. How do I know whether it's a helping verb or is a linking verb? If the main verb is not present, there is only a subject and a predicate, and this verb linking between them, then this is a linking verb. Like today is Sunday. Today, the subject, what I'm talking about in the sentence, is Sunday. Sunday is the predicate. It's a noun, so it's a predicate noun, as it's colored in green, and is a verb, and the only verb in this sentence, its role is to link between this subject and predicate. So there is no main verb here. That's why I know this is a linking verb. Okay, let's read them. The sandwich tastes delicious. Today is sunny. The weather feels warm. So feels is a linking verb. Warm is a predicate adjective because it's describing how the weather feels. How does it feel? It feels warm. It's an adjective and it's taking the place of a predicate. So I call it a predicate adjective. Ducks and squirrels are our neighbors. Here, our neighbors, the predicate is taking the place of a noun, or sorry, the predicate is a noun. So I call it a predicate noun because the noun is taking the place of the predicate, and are is the linking verb. Okay. What does the predicate nouns and predicate adjectives do? A predicate noun is a noun that follows the linking verb and renames or identifies the subject. When I say today is Sunday, Sunday is renaming today. What is today? Sunday. It's identifying the subject. It's telling me more about the subject. So that's the predicate noun. The predicate adjectives follows the linking verb and describes the subject. As I said before, this sandwich tastes, how does it taste? Delicious. So it's describing the sandwich. So it's a predicate and adjective predicate. It's describing the subject. Let's practice. For each sentence, you need to write the linking verb. And the first sentence, today is the first day of camp, is the linking verb. The lake looks calm at sunrise. So looks is the linking verb. How does it look? It looks calm. Calm is the predicate adjective. The birds sound peaceful. Sound is the linking verb. It's linking between the birds, the subject, and the predicate. And we have in the predicate a description of the subject. So peaceful is a predicate adjective. Campers feel good after a restful sleep. So feel is the linking verb, linking between campers, the subject, and the predicate. And we have here good. It's describing how the campers are feeling. So this is a predicate adjective. Breakfast is oatmeal and bacon. So is the linking verb. Oatmeal and bacon, these are nouns taking the place of a predicate in this sentence. So this is a predicate now by a noun. And by now, you should be able to solve the rest of the sentences. Let's move on. You are going to read each sentence, underline the linking verb, and circle the predicate noun in part A. And in part B, you're going to read each sentence, draw a line under the linking verb, and circle the predicate adjective. We have already practiced solving exercises on predicate adjectives and predicate nouns and linking verbs, so I will leave this to you to assess yourself. And now we are done with our lecture. We have a fun video to watch, and it's called Dance and Freeze. So when the song says dance, you're going to do all the movements and actions you want. And when it says freeze, you need to stop your action. Let's start. It's taking a while. All right, here we go.
When I say freeze, you're going to freeze. Are you ready? Let's dance! Keep dancing! Dance! Here we go! Let's freeze!
And now you're
frozen.
freezing.
Get ready to hop and hop. Hop, hop, hop. Are you hopping? Hop, hop, hop. Ready and freeze. Okay, we're going to keep hopping, but this time on one foot. Let's go. Switch, hop on the other foot. Get ready. Freeze.
Excellent.
Stay frozen.
All right, so you got it all right. Now, by now, our lecture ended. I hope you know all about the action verbs. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to let me know. Thank you for watching this video by Miss Maha Mohsen, and you can send me an email for your questions and follow me on Learn with Maha on Instagram and social media platforms. Thank you for watching. Bye.